morning and welcome back to 2-Minute Tech Tuesday. Today we are going to be continuing to dive into Notebook LM and look at a couple of resources from the studio over on our right-hand side to see what we can do to create new items for our students or to show our students how to create these items for themselves for upcoming quizzes and exams. So essentially, there are a couple of things that we can do as educators in order to create some additional documents utilizing this program. So if you recall, we have our sources over here. Everything that we are doing is based on the sources that we have uploaded ourselves. So these are our vetted sources. We have our chatbot here, which can help us to create items, but we also have this studio. And last time we created a mind map in order to see what that would look like. And we also created a couple notes here based on questions that we added in the chat and from that mind map. So there's a couple other things that we can do. One of those things that we can do is create flashcards. Now you'll notice that any of these items that we create, we can share them out. So if we create flashcards, we can share them to our students. So I'm going to click on the little flashcard icon, and you're going to see that I can choose the number of flashcards that I would like. I can choose the level of difficulty that I would like them to be. And then I also can put in a couple of prompts if I want to make the flashcards specific. So I'm just going to leave it as it is and I'm going to generate. And you're going to see that it's going to generate my flashcards, and it's using all 8 of my sources that I have over here. Now, one thing that you're going to notice is that there probably will be a flashcard based on the levels of student engagement, which I used for my last prompt. So when you're creating these cards, if you want them to be based on the content, you can always just click this off when you're using this before you start the flashcard generation, and it won't use that article in order to create the flashcards. So as that's generating, I'm just going to show you what the quiz is like. So you would also click on the quiz, and that would generate a quiz for you. So here is what the SPIES quiz looks like. It's 10 questions, and that can be a really great way to test your knowledge on these sources. So if you have students creating notebooks based on their notes and based on articles that you have given them, they can create these practice quizzes. If you're having an upcoming test, they can create these practice quizzes in order to go over the information that has been reviewed. You could also create this practice quiz, and then you can share it out with your students. You can share this part of the notebook out. So you're going to see our flashcards are now finished. And so here are the flashcards, and you'll see that as we're moving through, you can see that the answers are on the back. So you can have all types of flashcards here. And then it's going to, give us the answers and some additional questions. So here's the one on the Schlechte model, right? So that would be based on that one. So we would want to remember, if we just want it to be on Civil War spies, to turn this off before we ran the flashcards. And you can share these out as well. And then there's giving you a little item here where you can say if this is good or bad content, just to help it learn a little bit more what you're looking for. The last thing that we're going to look at today is under reports. So when you click on the reports item, you're going to see that you can create your own report. You can create a briefing document, which is going to feature the key insights and quotes. You can create a blog post. You can do some other items here like historical analysis, a comparative biography, character profiles, any of these kind of items. But you also can create a study guide. So we're going to just click on the study guide item, and it's going to generate that report. And notice now that it's only basing it on 7 sources because I removed the levels of student engagement from our sort of piece here. So if you're working with this for students, you're going to want to do that. So it's just going to generate that. So the great thing about this studio space is that you're quickly creating these items and that you can share them out to your students at any time. You would share the link, and then you would just share out the individual items. If you wanted to share the entire notebook, you could also do that as well. So if you were saying, hey, everyone, this is a notebook with all of our articles in it, our sources that we're going to be using for this unit, you are responsible for knowing this information, and then you could teach the students how to create the flashcards and the quizzes and the study guide. So here's the study guide. It's giving you some information, putting it all together in sort of an outline so that we can sort of have all that information. You'll see the short answer quiz. There's a short answer quiz here as well to review the information. possible essay questions to help them think about it in terms of a writing assignment, a glossary of key terms. So this is a really amazing item, especially if you're creating a new lesson plan. You can create this study guide and share it out with the students so that they have all of these key items without having to, spend an extraordinary amount of time creating these elements separately. So that is it for today. This is just some elements of the studio. Next time, we're going to talk about the audio overview and the video overview, and we're going to go from there. Thank you and have a wonderful afternoon.